Hey there folks, thanks for tuning in. This is my second Zapper video. I wanted to update the video because I went to go and find some new supplies for a zapper and I want to share that with you. So the first thing you want to do when you're going to zap is you want to make sure that your battery is charged. This video is going to be using only one battery, okay? You can use one or two. So this video is going to be using one battery. So you want to make sure the light is green. So what you do, you take your battery and you're going to connect each of the ports to each of the copper pipes. So it doesn't matter which one you do. You're just going to attach them like so. Now if you're using two batteries, you would do the exact same thing, and you would make sure that the right color goes to the right pipe. One of these pipes is red, one of these pipes is green. So one is positive, one is negative. Okay? And now you're just going to be watching your clock for 7 minutes. And you're going to hold one of the handholds while you tap the other one for 7 minutes. Okay? So I made a trip to go and find supplies for zappers because I bought my last one maybe 3 years ago, and I had to go to several places to find the stuff, but it ended up being the same stores that I went to last time. The original zapper calls for copper pipes, 3-inch long copper pipes. So I bought a long copper pipe, and I bought it at home. Well, I was going to buy it at Home Depot. Well, I did buy it actually, and they wanted me to cut it myself. And I was like, what? Cut it myself? You guys used to cut these, and because I've had zappers in the past, and they would cut the pipe for you to 3 inches, and they said they wanted me to cut it myself. So I bought a copper pipe cutter, and I bought the wrong size. So I was like, oh my gosh, and the copper pipe cutter was like $20 or something. It all came up to like $35 or $40 just for the pipe and the cutter. So I said, okay, that's too much money. I want to try to find another way. So I went back and I looked at copper fixtures in the plumbing department, and I found this. Now this is some kind of thing. I don't know. It's closed on one side and it's open on the other side, so you can attach your lead to it. And it's copper. It's not the exact same dimensions as the original zapper, but you know what? It works wonderfully. It works really well. And this is about $4. So you just buy 2 of those. I was going to try some like elbow fixtures, copper elbow fixtures and stuff like that, but I just went with whatever looked as close to the original zapper as possible. So altogether on copper, I spent $8. No problem. And as far as the leads go, you see the wires with the alligator clips. Nobody sells alligator clips anymore. Like, nobody even knows what an alligator clip is anymore. But I found this pack of leads. You see this green one here. I got a pack of 15 or 20 leads. I guess they call these leads. They have the wire attached to it with the alligator clip on each end. And the whole pack was like $10. And they have they have like 5 or 6 different colors, which makes it really convenient, especially when you're using 2 batteries, because you don't have to give it any thought. So, oops. Now, one thing this is my second zapping session today with this, and one thing I noticed is that on the I don't know if it's the smooth one on the 9-volt battery, the smooth side, the alligator clip of this size will slip off, so you can't move it around a lot. The alligator clips that I had on my other zapper are very old school, and they stay on, so you could like fling those things around and it'll stay on, but these will slip off, so you just want to handle it gently. So that's all you really need is the copper. You know, the copper was $8 altogether, and then the leads were about $10, and I think it might have been a little less, more like $7 or something like that. So the most expensive aspect to this is the battery and the battery charger. So I went around looking for a battery charger and 9-volt batteries, because the battery charger that I bought before, I bought the battery charger, the 9-volt battery charger, and it came with 2 rechargeable 9-volt batteries. And that whole thing came up to $30, or no, it was between $20 and $30, and that was 3 years ago. So I went out and I tried to find something like that, and I had a hard time. I had to go to I went to Best Buy, I went to Target, let's see, where else did I go? I went to Home Depot and Harbor Freight. And actually, where I got the leads from, these leads right here, I got from Harbor Freight. These wires, I don't know if they have these at Home Depot. I got the copper at Home Depot and the wires at Harbor Freight. And they both have rechargeable 9-volt batteries and battery chargers too. But the battery chargers that they have for 9-volt batteries aren't just for 9-volt batteries. They have universal chargers, and you got to buy them for $40. Same thing at Best Buy. So I was kind of disappointed because I already have a battery charger for AA and for AAA batteries. So I didn't want to buy a universal battery charger. I just wanted the 9-volt battery charger. So I ended up going to a store called Batteries Plus. And they had the one that I'm using today, which I'll show you as soon as my 7 minutes is up, in the store. And the products that they sell at that store are a little bit more expensive because, as the guy pointed out to me, rechargeable batteries are not all made equally. They're based on milliamp hours, and the ones that have, like the ones he sold at his store, each 9-volt battery was $15 at Batteries Plus, and those had the 2,000 millivolt hours on it. And this one is not from there. This one is from Home Depot, which was $13. And this one has, let's see if I can see without it slipping off. This one has 175 milliamp hours. Okay, so the one that he had at the Batteries Plus, that one was like 1,000 milliamp hours or something. It was crazy. No, maybe it was like 500. It couldn't have been 1,000. That sounds really different. But it was high. I mean, it was between 500 and 1,000 milliamp hours for $2 extra. I didn't even look at this one before I bought it because I remember what he said, and I went back to that store because I wasn't going to buy anything from there because everything was so expensive. But he sold me the battery charger, which had a retail value of $35 or something, and he sold it to me for $18 because he looked in the computer and he said, "Oh, this says that I can sell it to you at clearance prices." And I said, "Oh, okay, great." So it was $18. So I got that and used this battery from Home Depot. And I wish that I would have bought the battery from Batteries Plus, because for one thing, it's the same brand as the charger, which is nice, and it had more milliamp hours on it. So when you go buy your battery charger and your 9-volt batteries, make sure that they have the highest millivolt hours to them, because it's not that much more money, and your battery will last 4 or 5 times longer than it would have otherwise. So these are wrapped in paper towels, as you can see. It's very important that you have a nice wet paper towel or fabric over your copper, because that helps with the conductivity. When your wet hands are touching the copper like this, the electricity goes through you a lot better and a lot easier. So I'm not exactly sure when I started, but I think it's been about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and stop. And this is only one battery. This is one battery. So you definitely want to recharge this in between. Even when I have 2 batteries, I recharge it in between, because you have to zap 3 times. You have to repeat that 7 minutes 3 times in order for it to first kill the parasites. Okay, that's the large organisms. Then you wait 20 to 40 minutes, no more than 40 minutes, and no less than 20 minutes to zap the second time with 7 minutes again. And that 7 minutes is going to kill the bacteria that came out of the parasite when the parasite died, because parasites carry their own bacteria. Okay? And so after you kill the bacteria that came out of the parasites, then you got to wait another 20 to 40 minutes to kill the viruses that came out of the bacteria, because all bacteria carries its own viruses. And if you don't do the whole protocol, all 3 steps, then you might develop a little, symptoms of cold and flu, sneeze, a sneeze or worse. So just, if you don't have time to do all 3, then just don't even do it at all. I've done two zap and then didn't do the third one, and I've done it more than once, and every time I always end up with a sniffle, like flu-like symptoms, because you release, your body is filled with viruses that are inside of your bacteria that are living inside the parasites. So make sure to do all 3, and that's a Zapper video. Thank you so much for watching, and happy zapping.